Today we're gonna learn how to turn a video that looks like this into this. Hi, my name is Eric. I'm a full-time filmmaker doing feature-length films and commercials for big brands. Let's dive into the secrets of how you can achieve so-called cinematic effect for your videos. First, we need to understand what a cinematic video means, because there are different aspects when it comes to cinematic image. Lighting, camera settings, movement, angles, composition, and so on. But today we're gonna focus on something special, anamorphic lenses, and how to fake them in Premiere Pro to make your videos look like real movies. Before we start, let me explain you what an anamorphic lens is and what side effects it has. Basically, all you need to know about anamorphic lenses is that they're often used when filming movies to create a very special look. Anamorphic lenses compress video horizontally, and then you need to squeeze the video in post to make it look normal again. That's why videos shot on anamorphic lenses have a wider aspect ratio instead of a traditional 16:9. Anamorphic lenses also cause a very interesting distortion. If you look at this image here, you can see that the wall here is not straight, it's a little bit curved. Same thing, the walls are curved. Here the building is curved. These lines are supposed to be straight in real life, but they're not, creating this 3D effect. So here the window frame is curved, and so on. You can see that the image is not only curved to the sides, right here, it also applies to the top and bottom. So yeah, here you can see a very clear example of the distortion. Everything is curved. This is just a screenshot from Eminem's music video Not Afraid, and you can see that the edge of the building is curved. The buildings here are curved. Same here. Another side effect that anamorphic lenses create is chromatic aberrations. So if I zoom in here, you can see that between the bright part of the image and the dark part, there is like a little red line right here. You see? Same applies here, like little red line here, and also blue line here. Some lenses have very strong chromatic aberrations, some lenses have very subtle chromatic aberrations. Now that you know how everything works in theory, let's go to Premiere Pro and do some real magic there. Alright, let's get started. We're gonna try and recreate this image here, and this is a perfect example of using anamorphic lenses to create so-called cinematic effect. So let's choose a clip we're gonna work with. For example, this one, and I'm just gonna drag it to my timeline, like this. And as you can see, this is just a shot of a girl walking straight, and this shot does not look cinematic at all, so we're gonna try and fix that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to fix the white balance, because as you can see, it's a little bit off because our image is yellow. So let's go to Color tab here on top, click here, and here's a little tip from me. If you choose this tool right here, and then you click on something gray or white, the white balance is going to be fixed automatically. So I know that this wall was great, so I'm just gonna click here, and boom, Premiere did its job automatically. And as you can see, this is the before and after. So right now we have the image that looks normal and it looks balanced. Next, I'm gonna stabilize my footage because as you can see, it's a little bit shaky and I want it to be a little bit smoother. But first, I need to select the best moment that I want to use. So for example, from here, I get rid of the rest to like here. And again, I'm gonna get rid of the rest of the clip. So right now we have about 5 seconds of clip. I'm just gonna drag it to the very beginning of our timeline. And now I'm gonna go to Effects tab right here and type Warp. And here is our warp stabilizer. I'm just gonna drag it and drop it to my clip. Then I go to Effect Controls, and we can see that our clip is being analyzed now, and then it's going to be stabilized. Our footage is not very shaky, so I don't need it to be stabilized heavily. So instead of 50% of stabilization, I'm just gonna change it to like 15%. This is going to be enough. If your shot is very shaky, for example, it was handheld while you were running, then you want to play with this percentage and maybe make it, I don't know, 50%, 60%, but for now, 15% is going to be fine. Premiere finished stabilizing our clip, and let's see how it looks now. Everything is smooth, and let's have a look at how it was before. I'm gonna turn off all of the effects. And you can see that it's yellow and shaky. So we're doing a good job so far. Let's move on to creating our anamorphic look. So let's go to our bin and select new item here and adjustment layer. Click OK and drag the adjustment layer above our clip. Make it a little bit longer, like that. And an adjustment layer is basically a layer that you can apply some effects to, and everything that's below the adjustment layer will be affected. So for example, if I change the color of our adjustment layer, I will make it a bit more green, for example. Our clip is going to be affected as well. And what's cool, that I can add one more clip below our adjustment layer, and it will be affected as well. So if I need hundreds of clips to be green, I don't need to go through each of them and make them green. I can just add adjustment layer on top and everything is going to be affected. So you can see that the adjustment layer finishes right here, and as soon as we pass it, everything goes back to normal. Okay, let's delete our green tint. And let's delete this clip for now and get back to our original clip. One more thing that will help us make our footage look cinematic is color lookup tables, or LUTs. A LUT is basically a color preset that you can apply to your footage. And especially for you, I've created 3 LUTs that you can download and use them for free to make your footage look amazing and cinematic. So let's select our adjustment layer, because from now on we're gonna apply our effects and color grading to the adjustment layer. And then go to creative right here, and we're gonna apply one of the LUTs that I've created for you. Then click here, browse, and choose one of the LUTs right here. For example, this one. And straight away you can see that our image changed dramatically, and now it looks way better. Just have a look. And this is how it looked before and after. And as we applied our LUT to the adjustment layer, again, everything that will be below our adjustment layer will be affected. So for example, this clip here, it's affected straight away. So let me turn off the adjustment layer and turn it back on. We can see that the lookup table is applied to it as well, because again, it stands below. Let's delete it for now. And now let's do some real magic and recreate this look right here. Because right now, as you can see, our image looks better than it used to, but it's still not the same. It's not what we want. So usually when people want to recreate the cinematic look, they just put black bars on top and bottom of their video. There are 2 ways how to do it. The first way is to change the actual aspect ratio of your sequence. So let's go to sequence settings. And if you shoot full HD, you should put 1920 here and 816 here. In my case, I shoot in 4K, that's why I have to put here 3840 1632. Press OK, and OK one more time. And now we can see that the aspect ratio of our image has changed. And straight away our video looks way more cinematic. And now I'm gonna show you the second way how to add the famous black bars to the top and bottom of your video. So first let's undo what we've done. I press Ctrl Z, and now we're back to normal aspect ratio. Then let's select our adjustment layer, go to effects, and let's type crop here. Drag the crop effect to our adjustment layer, and now we can see that we have our crop effect here in effect controls. So what we want to do is we want to type 12% to the top, right here and 12% to the bottom. And now, as you can see, we have the same thing. We have the so-called cinematic aspect ratio. Like I said before, one of the side effects of using anamorphic lenses is chromatic aberrations. Let me just add our reference picture here. Right click and set to frame size. So just a reminder, chromatic aberrations is this red color here. You can usually see it at the very contrasty parts of the image. So this is dark, this is bright, and in between you can see the chromatic aberration. Same thing here, red color and some blue color here. Again, contrasty part of the image, and we can see the side effect. So we want to recreate it here. So let's select our adjustment layer, go to Effects, and type VR Chromatic Aberrations. So if you just type here, you're gonna see it, and drag it to our adjustment layer. And now what we have is this. This is not what we need, so we're gonna fix that. Go to Effect Controls, and you can see that here we have our VR Chromatic Aberrations here. And let's drag it on top of our crop effect. This is very important. So now let's change some of the specs here. So first, what we want to do is we want to take this box here, fall off invert. Now it got better, but it's too strong. So let's change the red aberration to -1 and blue aberration to 1. So it's not really visible, but if I zoom it in, just like that, and I find a contrasty part here, yeah, here we can clearly see the difference. So this is without, this is with. So look here, the red color, and here we can see the blue color. Here red color again. So off, on, off, on. It's not easy to see this little effect, but it's very important for your brain, because when your brain sees an image, it reads it as something cinematic, and these little details are very important. The next step is very important when it comes to the anamorphic look. Like I explained you before, when they use anamorphic lenses in cinema, the anamorphic lenses create this rounded effect, so no lines are straight. So as you can see here, 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 so the wall is not straight, it's a little bit rounded, it has some curve. Same here. And this is a very good example because we can see a grid here on the wall, and we can clearly see that the lines are curved. So this is supposed to be a horizontal line, and it goes like this. Same goes to vertical line. It's not straight, it's curved. So let's try and recreate this. So I have a picture of a grid right here for you. I'm just gonna drag it to my timeline, make it full screen. And I'm using a picture of a grid so that it's easier for you to see the difference of our next effect. So let's go to Effects and type Lens Distortion. And we can basically pick any of the suggested effects. Let's just pick the first one and drag it to our adjustment layer. Then go to Effect Controls. And now we have to put our lens distortion effect above crop. So basically, crop effect always has to be at the very bottom of all of our effects. And now let's change some settings of our lens distortion effect. So let's change the first setting, curvature, to, let's say, 9. And make sure that everything else is set to 0. Now we can see that our grid is not straight anymore. It has this curve right here. So the horizontal line is rounded and vertical lines are rounded as well. And this is what we needed to recreate the anamorphic effect. But we have one problem here. As you can see, there is white color at the sides of our video. And let's fix that. So let's go to Effects, type Transform, and drag Transform Effect to our adjustment layer. Then again, we have to make sure that our Transform Effect is above Crop Effect. And then let's select Scale and type 109 here. Now we zoomed in and we don't see the white color anymore. So right now we can clearly see the difference. We have the curvature that we need. And if we look at our original video now, we can finally see that we have the rounded edges. So for example, have a look at this wall here. It's not straight line anymore, it's rounded. Same goes to the floor. Look here, this horizontal line that's supposed to be straight is rounded. Same applies to the ceiling and to the whole image in general. So this is the before any of our effects and after. Look at this huge difference in our image. And all these little effects working together create the cinematic feeling. So now let's compare our reference shot here with Eminem standing on the roof. So we can see that the edge of the building is curved, the buildings here are curved, and we also see that there are some chromatic aberrations here, right? And same applies to our image. We have everything the same here. We have all these details in place that create the cinematic effect. Again, great color correction, chromatic aberration, and the curved edges of the image. And the best part about using adjustment layer, like I said before, now when we put any clips below our adjustment layer, for example, I don't know, let's pick this one. Let's go to basic correction first and reduce the highlights just a bit. And now look at the image here. We have everything applied here straight away. The curved building, the curved pole, nice color correction, and chromatic aberrations as well. So if I zoom in, you can see here, for example, looking at this pole, that we have chromatic aberrations. See? Everywhere. So these little effects again create the cinematic feeling. So just like that, in a couple of minutes, you can create a cinematic effect and apply it to all of your images to completely change the look and improve it dramatically. So just one more time. So here's the before, not cinematic at all. And here's after. Before, after. And our original shot, this is before, after. And one more tip for you to save even more time is to select adjustment layer, hold Ctrl, and select each of our effects. Then right click, save preset, and name it, for example, Anamorphic. Click OK. And now let's delete all of our effects. Delete. So now we have our original image here. And if you go to Effects, go to Presets, you can see our Anamorphic preset here. Just drag it to Adjustment Layer and you're done. Just like that, in 1 second, you can create your cinematic image. Now you know how to make any video look like a movie, so now it's time for you to go and do everything yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.